What's good, brothers and sisters? My name is Nico, and this is episode 100 and something by now of uploading a video to YouTube every single day so I get better at speaking to the camera. Today, I'm going to make a video about beliefs that are holding you back from success, from becoming disciplined, from achieving what you want to achieve. I sincerely hope that all this background noise isn't too bad. Anyways, let's get right to it. Number one, the belief that this does not apply to me. Have you ever been given advice and instantly made an excuse or reacted defensively and said, yes, but literally any excuse you could come up with is only valid because you have it as an excuse, but it's not the reason why it doesn't apply to you? Does that make sense? I believe that at least 99.9999999% of advice is useful and applicable to everyone. It's just not, some advice is just better suited for people's specific circumstance. But for example, if someone tells you, bro, you need to smile more, and you think that you're a person that smiles a good enough amount of the time, you're probably right. But they're also probably right. Wouldn't it be technically better to smile one more time per day? What's close? Tell me, you answer this question. Which version of you is closer to being successful? The person that smiles as much as you do right now, or the person that smiles one more time per day than you do right now? This is a little bit of technicality, but it also applies to other advice that I just can't think at the top of my head right now. Things like just be disciplined. Things like go on a run, exercise. I'm not even telling you that you need to go on a run. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't exercise. I'm not telling you to smile more. I'm saying don't block yourself off to advice that fast. Don't react defensively. Be open to it and take your pride and ego out of the way and think, maybe this does actually help me. And by the way, a lot of people talk about only take advice from people that are in the position you want to be at. But it's a good filter so certain opinions of others doesn't hurt you as much. But I personally live by something different, which it's hard to live by, but you can learn something from anyone on the world. Whoever you think is dumb, whoever you hate, you can learn something from them. Okay. And the next limiting belief that's holding you back is something similar to this doesn't apply to me. And it's thinking that it's going to be easy. And okay, I feel like I know what you're thinking. I bet a lot of you just thought, oh, this doesn't apply to me. I think it's going to be hard. I know there are going to be obstacles and things I need to get through, and I'm going to suffer, and there's going to be pain, and it's going to be hard. At the same time, yes, you're probably slightly more prepared than the average person who just watches a video on TikTok or Instagram Reels about starting to drop ship and thinks it's going to be easy, that they just have to buy a product, market it, and get all the revenue. But it's not. You probably think, oh, it's not that easy. I actually need to change who I am. I need to be disciplined and lock in. Or maybe you think something else. But what you don't realize is that you're a level 1, and unless you are a complete outlier exception of a beginner, because I'm assuming all of you are beginners, unless you are that exception, you want to go from level 1 to level 10. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that I'm going to say you have to go from level 1 to level 2. No. From level 1 to level 2, there's infinite levels. There's infinite micro levels within anything. But the good thing is you can get better at anything. If you need to be a kinder person, how do you become kind? You smile more, you have interest in other people, you become a servant, you become more of a servant to other people, you help people more. And even within all those things that I told you, like being a servant, smiling more, those are all things that you can train, and there are multiple steps within those. There are infinite steps that can train you to become that person. You need to rewire yourself through infinite steps to become closer to that ideal, because you're never going to get to that ideal. If my explanation didn't make sense, let me tell you about a story. I work for my brother. He has a coffee catering business here in Miami. We do coffee catering at weddings, parties, corporate events, things like that. And when he hired me, he told me my job is to sell. Well, what the heck? I've heard people online talk about the skill of sales and how it's a super high value skill that will make you lots of money. He just told me to sell. Like, how the heck do I learn sales? At the end of the day, I have to sell. People have to give me money. But how do I get people to give me money? I have to learn tonality. I have to learn objection handling. I have to learn storytelling. I have to learn connecting with people. And even just tonality, there's a million things that I need to do to practice tonality. Like, for example, I'm practicing tonality every day when I make a video. I'm practicing tonality when I speak with this voice right here. I'm practicing tonality when I sing, and I feel so cringe singing there. And there's so much. One more example. My brother also has coffee courses where he trains baristas. And one day I worked there, basically was just cleaning the cups and cleaning the area with mops. And he got upset at me multiple times because he told me, you have to keep the area clean, keep the area clean. And to me it looked clean, but to him it didn't. It's because he saw things that I didn't. But here's the thing, he was trained to see them. Everything that happens in our life is an accumulation of everything that's happened in our lives. Everything we do, every choice we make, every action we take is because of the accumulation of circumstances plus our genetics. That pretty much explains any action any human takes ever. You know, and when we're expecting to change, we have to rewire that, because we're wired to be a certain way, but we have to change it. The good thing is we can change our wiring. And he's literally wired to see a few more coffee beans that I see as non-existent in the ground. And he gets upset at me because he thinks it's common sense, but it's not. It's truthfully trained. Or another time where we were carrying machines, and I was like, which way is it facing? Because I was nervous, and I was like, I don't want to make the wrong mistake, and my head was clouded, and I just want to do the right thing. So I asked him, and he got mad. Not saying he's a bad person, it's all normal things. But he got mad. You just have to focus. And I was like, maybe I'm not that smart, because I was emotional, and he thought it was sarcastic, and it was a little bit of an argument. But it's literally just the way we are. It's almost like we shouldn't take offense to anything, because you can explain everything anyone does to the accumulation of everything that's happened in our lives. So this limiting belief that I was talking to you about was just, it's not as easy as you think. It just means that there are a million things you need to do. If you think you need to take one step forward, the act of taking one step requires infinite actions that are mostly subconscious. Does that make sense? Okay. One more belief. And I'm not gonna lie, I started recording this video and I didn't think of any beliefs. So right now, give me a second to think of another belief that's holding you back. Okay. This isn't one belief in itself. It's you most likely have one or two beliefs. It's either I need to be disciplined or I need to take a break. I think the vast majority of people are in the I want to take a break, I want to do things the easy way, I want to brain rot. And then the next step is I need to lock in. I know I need to be disciplined, I need to work hard. I think there is a good balance that you need between them. And people go from I need to take a break and my life needs to be full of pleasure to I need to lock in and experience zero pleasure. They go from one to the other way too fast. And all I'm telling you to do, specifically if you're a beginner, is to go slow. Baby steps are the best way to rewire yourself, like I was talking earlier. Rewiring yourself takes ages. Everything that's happened in your life, the actions you decide to take right now are because of everything that's happened prior. And you expect to change who you are and what you believe right now, it's not gonna happen. You have to take baby steps. Right now, if you're someone that has never gone to the gym, eats junk food 24/7, and is on Netflix or on their phone 24/7 in bed, I'm just gonna say you're not gonna go to the gym tomorrow. You're just not. So what I want you to do, I want you to put on your shoes and think about the gym for 10 seconds. And that's your baby step. Tomorrow, you're gonna put on your shoes and think about it for a minute. And then the next day, you're gonna put on your shoes and go on a 1-minute walk and think about the gym for a minute. A lot of you, of course, can take bigger action steps than that. A lot of you guys can get your foot in the gym. But don't do it too fast, because you have to take the path of most sustainable resistance. What do I mean by that? Most of you are wired right now to take the path of least resistance, which is just going on your phone whenever you feel pain in your brain after studying, or deciding not to go to the gym. And then you get programmed to think that you have to go super hard and be disciplined. And you need to have zero screen time and zero junk food, cut out everything and just be a pure disciplined monk madman. And you're never going to rewire yourself and be a new person if you do that. You have to do it sustainably. It's going to suck, you're going to fail, and there's a million steps within that journey that you can't even comprehend. All right, that's the end of the video. God bless you if you believe in love or that all things happen for a reason. And you already believe in God, man, because God is love.